It's my 37-week bump day, and to me, that is a big accomplishment. This week, they say the baby is the size of a winter melon. Feels like a watermelon if you ask me though. There's that bump, and here come the stretch marks. I'm 37 weeks and I am so ready to meet this baby. Let's get started. Hey guys, and welcome to my 37-week bump date. I am so excited. I know that 37 is actually no longer considered full term. They just recently changed it to now 39 weeks is now considered full term, but I still think that is a really big accomplishment. I feel like all they're trying to say with that is that baby should not be induced. You shouldn't induce before 39 weeks or anything, but if I were to go into labor, I do believe that he would be ready, and I think that if I were to have him, he'd be okay. So I think that's a really big accomplishment to reach 37 weeks, and I am very excited about it. No preterm labor for me, so that is always good. And I'm doing a 37-week bump date. I normally just do like the even numbers, like the 14, 16, 18, 20, those numbers. But since I'm getting so close to the end, I thought I should go ahead and do a 37-week, because who knows, I could have him during this week, and if not, I'll do my 38, and if not then I'll do my 39. So I'm just getting so close to the end, I thought I'm gonna really try and do weekly bump dates if possible. Also, I'm in a totally new room. I am in Finn's nursery, which I'm really excited about, and also if you see me like bounce it all, I'm also on my birthing ball. I'm really trying to sit in good positions during these next 2 weeks, that way I can help this baby drop and get out of me, really. So like I said, the baby is the size of a winter melon, which I don't really know what a winter melon is. I'm assuming it's a lot like a watermelon, but he definitely feels really big. They say he's about 6.5 pounds, which sounds about right. And he is anywhere between like 19 and 22 inches long, which I would say is probably closer to the 19 inches. Ollie was born on 37 in 2 days, and he was about 19 inches long. So I do think that Finn is probably following a lot like his brother, but I guess we will have to wait and find out. It is really crazy that I'm probably going to pass up the amount of days or weeks that I was pregnant with Oliver. I don't feel like I'm going to go into labor in the next 1 to 2 days, although I am really trying to keep a good eye on his kick counts, because I don't want what happened to Oliver to happen to Finn. So I'm really trying to make sure that he's kicking and not like stalling or having a hard time in there, because otherwise that may mean C-section for me. So I am officially gained about 28 pounds, which I think is fine. I don't feel like that's too little or too much. Still, my major concern at this point is rib pain. I feel like my ribs, they were really sore starting at about like the 35-week mark, and so I'm definitely going on 2 weeks of just like intense rib pain. Basically, baby is just so high up that he's just kind of kicking and just really separating my ribs almost. But now the rib pain is kind of moved to now the back as well. So it makes sleeping really hard. It is pretty difficult. But I got some good news from my chiropractor. He says, you know, baby should probably start to descend and drop down within the next week. So maybe my rib pain will loosen up in the next week, which would be like amazing. If I could have like less rib pain, I feel like I'd be a much happier mommy. I am still having quite a bit of contractions, although most of the time they start at night. They're not super regular or super painful. They can be painful, but not super painful. To me, it's kind of bittersweet, because I feel like, okay, my body's really practicing and just, you know, getting ready to go into labor within the next 2 to 3 weeks. I don't know when. But it can be like a little exhausting, because I'm just like, it hurts at night. I can be in a really bad position while I'm having a contraction, and it can just hurt so bad that it wakes me up, and then I'm like, can't get up, I can't move. So that's really not fun. I'm just kind of hoping that one of these nights it'll actually mean real labor. So I guess we'll see. Something I'm also really excited about is the fact that baby is now in the correct position. He's been posterior for a lot of these weeks, and I've been seeing a chiropractor every week, and we've been really just doing a lot of adjusting to try and help baby move to the correct position, and I believe he is now in the correct position. I'm hoping he stays that way. I feel like he's going to, but he is now looking down, no longer looking up, and he's on the right side, and I think everything is good, and now it's just about helping him drop now. So in order to help him drop, I've been doing a lot of sitting on my little bouncing ball, birthing ball. I've been trying to sit in good wide-legged positions, not the most ladylike positions at all, but just making sure to keep my pelvic bones and my pelvis area really open so that he can drop down. So of course that means some squatting. When I'm sitting on the floor, I just try and keep my legs from being like crossed and stuff like that. I do a lot of hands and knees movement, which I think has also helped him move into the correct position. So I've just been really trying to help him drop, and I don't know if anything I'm doing is actually gonna help him or if he's just gonna drop when he's ready to drop, but I just wanna feel like I'm doing as much as I can to, you know, help this birthing process go the way that we want it to go, and make sure that I don't feel like I should have done more or anything like that. So at this point, I wanted to talk about some of my biggest fears as far as when it comes to, you know, laboring and getting this baby out. And most of my biggest fears seem to be before I actually go into labor. In fact, I just feel like either one, I'm not gonna go into labor. Probably, like, I feel like the same thing's gonna happen with Oliver. He's gonna stop moving, I'm gonna get scared, I'm gonna go to the hospital, and then they're just gonna be like, yep, you need a C-section. I just feel like that's what's gonna happen. I hope that's not what's gonna happen, and I don't like to talk about it because I feel like every time I say it, it like makes it more of a possibility. I'm just really, like I said, I'm trying to watch his kick counts and just keeping an eye on him because he definitely is slowing down in movement, and I feel like if I don't watch it, like I could all of a sudden be like, wait, when's the last time he moved? And then I'll start getting scared, and then I'll want to go to the hospital, all that. So I'm really just trying to keep an eye on it, and that's definitely my biggest fear, is that just the same thing's gonna happen with Ollie. And my other fear is that I'm just not gonna go into labor. Like, I just feel like my body doesn't quite know how to do it or what to do, and I know that that's not true whatsoever. Oh, don't worry, your body knows what to do. Like, I know that it does, but at the same time, I don't know. I guess I have some sort of internal fears that I don't like to talk about a lot, but just that I have had a few losses and my body never knew what to do. It never knew, like, okay, now's the time I need to go into labor. And so these are kind of just like really personal fears that I don't really like to talk about, but I don't know, yeah, I'm having contractions, but to me, I'm sure they're not. I just don't feel like they're actually doing anything. I definitely don't feel like they are affecting my cervix whatsoever, although I would love to know. My midwife hasn't checked me, but so yeah, I don't know. Those are like my fears right now. I just feel like I'm gonna be pregnant forever, which I know that's what every woman thinks when they are reaching the end of their pregnancy, that they're never gonna go into labor, but that's definitely one of mine. So although I don't feel like I'm gonna go into labor, my hospital bag is all packed and ready. Well, I have everything ready, I just need to stuff it all into a bag at this point, but that's kind of exciting. I feel like if I were to go into labor, I'd just be able to go and I could go to the hospital and have a baby. So like I said in my last bump date, I wanted you guys to keep an eye out for a couple videos, and those videos are up, so I wanted to make sure you watch them. We did the nursery tour of Finn's room, and so if you haven't seen that, make sure you watch it. His room is just such a special place to us now, and I absolutely love it. Hopefully we'll be able to film a lot more in this nursery. And then my belly cast video is up. I did a belly cast with Ollie, and I did one now with Finn, and they turned out really great. I'm actually going to show you them right now so I can kind of compare them for you, just because I think that they're really cool. Alright, so this is Finn's cast, his belly cast, and I absolutely love how it turned out. It actually turned out a lot better than Ollie's, meaning that it's more sturdy and stiff. So I think we just kind of had more experience and we knew what to do, meaning to make sure that we smooth it, and just kind of make sure it has lots of plaster on here so that it doesn't crack or anything. I find it hilarious how different my body is in this one. Most of all, my boobs. I definitely feel like I'm sagging quite a bit this pregnancy, mostly because I nursed for 14 months with Ollie, and so my boobs are just different with this one. But I also love how round it is. Yes, he can sometimes be lopsided, and if you look at it, you can tell that this side is slightly higher than this side. but I think it is way more round and way less lopsided than Oliver's was. So that's kind of interesting. I really love how it turned out. A lot of people ask, what do you do with it? Obviously it's a huge keepsake. I mean, capturing something like this is crazy. To be able to capture what your body looked like when you were pregnant is crazy. Like, you take tons of pictures, but sometimes you can't really remember. But now I can look back and I can be like, that was what I looked like when I was pregnant. Another really cool thing I love to do is we do newborn photos in this. So we'll actually put Finn in the cast and we can kind of just show how he sat in my belly, and I think that's really, really neat. And again, we like to compare it. So I'm gonna compare it with Ollie's right now. So here's Ollie's, and it is way more flimsy. Actually, like the boob is pretty flimsy. It kind of wiggles quite a bit. We just definitely didn't do as good of a job with it. But you can look at it and you can see that his is definitely much higher. And I'll show you what it looks like on me, kind of just in a sitting position. It actually fits very nicely other than this. So there is actually a huge pocket of air, if you were to look in here, that Finn is not coming up as high as Ollie was. So I find that really interesting. I just think it's cool. Everything fits exactly how Finn is, except for this high point right here. So that's kind of cool. I really loved trying it on and just seeing the difference. This is me pregnant with Oliver. See how high he is up here. And this is me pregnant with Finn. That's my belly. Definitely seems smaller now, huh? Okay, real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and show you my bump. All right, here's the bump from the front. And from the side, he is still very, very high, as you can see. And from the other side. All right, let's check out my stretch marks. Here it is from the front, this side, and this side. And let's see what we can see. My stretch marks are definitely getting a little bit bigger. I think I've got a couple here. I don't know if you guys can really tell. And then I thought I was getting a couple right here, but I actually don't think that I am. I saw like a really big indent right about here, but I think I had just been leaning on something and that it wasn't a stretch mark at all. I think these are still my only ones as of right now, but I have a feeling I'm gonna be getting more if I stay pregnant much longer. Alright guys, that is it for this bump date. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We are getting down to the wire. I did want to let you guys know, if I go into labor, you're definitely going to want to be following both me and Brian on Twitter and Instagram. We will be doing most of our updates through that. I don't know if we're going to do a I'm in labor video. We haven't yet, so if it happens before we make the video, then we probably won't, unless Brian wants to just be like, hey guys, Missy's in labor, and then just upload it for you guys, maybe. But your best bet is to just make sure that you're following us both on Twitter and Instagram. I will have our links down below. Make sure you follow us, because that is where you're gonna get all of our updates, and that's probably where you're gonna see like the first pictures and stuff like that before they end up on my channel or the daily bumps at all. So anyways, I made it through this video without completely running out of breath. I'm sorry I'm so out of breath. That's just what happens when you're at the end of pregnancy. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! And that's what he's doing right now, because I think he feels kind of trapped. Like when he pushes on my belly's not really giving as much as it usually does. So he's getting angry in there, and he's like trying to like kick and pull, and he's actually somewhat making it lopsided. He's just getting angry and mad.